Hi there, I'm Daniel Lader, founder of Lader CPA and Associates. This is our Instagram live series talking about building a successful private practice from beginning to infinity. We're doing it a little different this week. Instagram changed something and I can't do this live anymore. So this is just a recording of what was supposed to be live on Friday. So I joined a support group for people with anxiety and tax problems. First rule, we don't talk about feelings unless they're deductible. All right, so this week our topic is navigating tax implications of offering client discounts. Now, some of you might be thinking as we go through this, some of you might be thinking, well, that's dumb. Why did I take the time to listen to this? I already know that. You're right. You're okay and you're right. The other part of you might be thinking, wow, I didn't know. I didn't think about it that way. You're also right, and I'm glad you're here and listening. This is one of those topics that in a way is a little bit more common sense than actual tax practice, but we're going to hit the tax side of things too. So don't worry, and I hope you learned something. So why does offering discounts to our clients matter? Well, as therapists, you know, some of your clients have difficulty paying your rates. You have a sliding scale. Sometimes you build in a discount to their price. Whatever you do, you're doing it so that you are providing an ethical and friendly service to your clients. Now, what does the IRS say about discounts? That's a good question. First off, the IRS considers gross income as all income earned, not just what you've collected. However, if you never bill a client the full rate, meaning you're billing them the reduced amount you're offering them, then that lower amount is the gross income, and it's not a discount in the eyes of the tax law. So there you go. That's the core of it. What you bill, what you're paid, is what you're taxed on. Discounts, obviously that works with your client if they need it, but discounts are not anywhere in the tax law that we can include in this. In fact, a discount, it's not a separate taxable deduction. Don't do that. That's wrong. You're just reducing the total amount that you are receiving, bringing in your revenues. So when is a discount relevant? Now let's say your normal rate is 150, but you decide you're going to bill a client 100. So your income, the total you receive is that 100, not the 150. Okay? That 100 is the agreed upon amount. Now you're not losing a $50 deduction. Your income is just, your revenue is just lower by that amount. Now, there's a couple things we have to remember. First off, your documentation. You need to keep your policy fee, your fee policy, your agreements in writing for any future questions that might come up. They don't show up on the tax return. The IRS is not going to see that your normal rate is 150, but you charged only 100 for this client. That's not what they care about. However, recording that and being able to track that information, that's going to be useful to you. Now, your practice management software, your HRM is probably going to be able to handle that for you. They would be backwards if they couldn't handle a discount. Now, one thing to remember is depending on or regardless of how that income with the discount or the sliding scale, regardless of how it's built in, make sure that's the information you're giving to your tax preparer, and that's what you've been recording in your bookkeeping software. At tax time, don't show up to your tax preparer and say, this is the amount I would have received if everyone paid my top rate, but this is the discount. Let's go back and correct things. Don't do that. Your tax preparer will not like you for doing that. So keep it all current and up to date in your bookkeeping software, with your practice management software, wherever you're keeping those records. Another couple things to look at, and these are all common sense items. First off, don't artificially inflate your fees just so you can write in a discount. That's your own business practice, but from a tax perspective, that's just dumb. It doesn't mean anything. Treat your agreed to fees with your clients as the fees. So the lower fees you agreed to, treat those as the agreed to fees. Don't write in a discount on your tax return or even in your bookkeeping software. Just take in the total amount you received as your revenues. And here's a tough one. This is probably the key to all. This is probably going to be the most useful information to everyone who already understood about how discounts should be written in. When you offer pro bono services, that is not a charitable deduction. Okay? Let me say that in a different way. Your time does not create a charitable deduction. If your bill rate is $150 and you give pro bono of 5 hours for a client, that does not create a $750 charitable deduction. I can say that 100 different ways, but it all comes down to time. Donated time does not equal a deduction. Okay? Now, you'll still see the benefit of doing pro bono work. You're not receiving revenues that would create additional taxable income, so you get that benefit, but do not record it and report it on your tax return because that's wrong. I hope I got that point through loudly. I've seen that many times actually. It's interesting that concept of donating your time is so prevalent that translates to a tax deductible contribution. And I get why. You think I'm donating time. Time is money. I can donate money and get a deduction, a charitable deduction. So I get the logic. But don't count your time as a charitable deduction. Okay. Now, I hope you got something out of this, whether I'm only talking to people who've already figured out the common sense side of things, or if these are new concepts to people, especially if you have a new practice that you're starting. Regardless of who you are, I hope you got something out of this video. Now, if you have any questions, feel free to comment on this video, DM me, and I'll answer those questions as I'm able to. Now, if you would like to schedule a free 30-minute call with someone at my firm to go over your business's tax strategy and tax situation, go ahead and DM me. We'll send you a link for our Financial 360 where we can talk with you about your firm's tax strategy and what improvements can be made. Good. Don't forget to follow and subscribe for future events or tax tips that we can provide to you. And go ahead and visit our website, latercpa.com. I will see you on the next video. Have a great weekend and keep helping others to help themselves. Bye.